couple of closer friends I have, I'm like, you guys, like, you're putting all your money in your 401k. You have all this money in savings. Why don't you take some of that and buy a rental property? Like my friend Marie, she lives down the street. She's thinking about moving. And she said, Casey, did you see this house in our neighborhood? It's $4,000 a month for rent. I said, I know, Marie. I'm like, why don't you move out of your house and rent this one? Your mortgage is like $1,000. You can
Yeah.
make $3,000 a month just by renting out your house. And she's like she was just stunned. Like, are you serious? I'm like, that's what I've been trying to tell you guys.
I don't know about you folks, but when I was starting in my real estate investing journey, I was super excited to talk to my friends about it. And let's just say those conversations weren't great, as they often went a different direction. I thought we should have this conversation with the one and only Casey from Brick by Brick Wealth. How you doing, Casey?
I'm doing good, Michael. Thanks for having me on today.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into this topic, right? There's a lot of people that come to our channels that are in our networks that are excited about real estate investing. They're hopefully, quote unquote, doing the work. But one of the things that they will likely do is they will talk to their friends and family about real estate investing. And I did that, and it didn't go well for me. So just curious, what are your thoughts?
So I have this network of mom friends, right? When we moved here 10 years ago, it was so funny. We all had babies and toddlers that were the same age. And many of the moms have kids in exact same grades as my 2 and 3 kids. It's wild. All 10 of us. So we didn't start buying rental properties until 3 years after we moved here. So obviously it was something that I wanted to talk about at the play
Yep,
groups, at the mom groups. I wanted to talk about that's what was going on in my life. Like
right.
I was raising kids and buying real estate, rehabbing properties, buying tools, making mistakes, and making money. And I wanted to share that with all of them. And I tell you, Michael, they didn't want to hear it. They didn't understand. And sometimes I would have, a tenant horror story, and I'd be like, you would believe this girl did, da da da, this tenant, da da da. And they would those stories would they'd be interested in, but as far, oh, whatever happened with that girl? She ever move out? Or, but when it comes to like making money, and they didn't understand why I was doing, like, why would you want to buy real estate? Why would you want to buy rental properties? That sounds like a lot of work. Why would you want to go fix stuff up? Blake's always out fixing toilets, they think.
Mm,
And then as I started buying more properties and making more money, and they could see us having more money, or just being less conscious about it. Like my our school is doing some eighth grade trip to New York, and it's going to cost $4,000 for my daughter to go. And I said, hey, anyone, are your eighth graders going to go? And they're like, oh, no, wish we could afford it. Oh, no, wish we could afford it. And I'm like, oh, that's dropping the bucket. Like, that's no big deal for me.
mm,
So we're kind of like separating
mm,
like our lives. And it's just getting harder and harder to talk with them and
mm,
relate. And so I have to be very quiet when I go to the mom events. I can't really talk about stuff anymore. And when I would talk about it, they would think that, oh, I get that feeling people think, oh, Casey's rich. Oh, Casey's
mm.
rich, you know, and that we don't really connect anymore. They don't understand real estate. And I tell, like, some of the couple of closer friends I have, I'm like, you guys, like, you're putting all your money in your 401k. You have all this money in savings. Why don't you take some of that and buy a rental property? Like my friend Marie, she lives down the street. She's thinking about moving. And she said, Casey, did you see this house in our neighborhood? It's $4,000 a month for rent. I said, I know, Marie. I'm like, why don't you move out of your house and rent this one? Your mortgage is like $1,000. You can
Yeah.
make $3,000 a month just by renting out your house. And she's like she was just stunned. Like, are you serious? I'm like, that's what I've been trying to tell you guys. Now, obviously, the long-term rentals that we buy, they're not making that kind of money because we're in an A-class neighborhood and we've owned these houses
Mhm.
for 10 years. So we can get appreciation and we can get, high rents like that now. But the people just don't understand how much money you can make. And it's just, slow and steady wins the race, one rental at a time, brick by brick, you know, just one, take care of it. And then slowly over time, the cash flow and the rents will go up and you'll have this high net worth and you didn't really do much for it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot in that. And I had a very similar story, right? So when we got started, we made the choice. We started living below our means, which meant we stopped eating out, we stopped buying nicer things. And my friends noticed. And, they probably, and I'm sure they did, they started making fun of us because we were changing, we were different. And it's really funny that you talked about this earlier, that the network always wanted to hear the problems, the risks, the challenges,
Yeah.
but they never made the connection with wealth building, right? And I tell people today, I try to shock people sometimes when I say things, and this is one of those. Your friends suck. Your friends suck. The friends that you have before you start real estate investing will not be the friends you have post real estate investing. You will have others because it's a very small group of individuals who understand what you're doing, what you're trying to do. It takes work, it takes effort. It's never easy. Bad things happen, mistakes happen. People lie to you, people steal, stuff breaks. And there's only a certain set of us that know what that's like because it happens to all of us. It's a people business.
Yeah.
And I had to change my network. And some of those people in the beginning for me were family. I can't, it's just you never really cut off family, I suppose, although I try all the time. Uh, but you just can't talk about some things because it's
Yeah.
just
My
exhausting.
family was very supportive, but I didn't tell them right away. I think I
Mm,
probably waited 4 years
no.
until they found out that I owned rental properties.
Yeah, it's
My
funny.
parents, my sister, like I think I did tell my sister first, but it was a little while later before my parents found out. And my dad was always a proponent of buy real estate, but they're also a little bit of the jealous type. And
Yeah.
I was worried if they found out that I was making money and being successful, would they be jealous?
Mm,
Would they treat me differently? And I didn't want to be treated differently. And I didn't want people to know that I was making quote easy money. It's not easy. We all know it's not easy, but
yeah.
once you get it set up and going, it's like, well, I can still have my regular life. I can still have wind down Wednesdays with the moms in the cove. I can still go to Fridays and have lunch with my kids at kindergarten and my fourth grader. I can still do all the same things they're doing, but my income is so much higher.
Yeah.
People don't understand that and they can't relate. So I just tried to keep it quiet for a really long time.
Yeah. I would tell you
You
that
know.
nobody in my family knew what Olivia and I had acquired until they read my book. That's that's how quiet I was. It's like it wasn't worth the conversation. Um, I have some family members that would have certainly said, "Hey, take care of me." I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Right? It's not my responsibility. You're an adult. Go take care of yourself. Yeah, it's very weird. Money's a weird thing. But yeah, you got to change your friends. You got to change your network because if you're getting
Yeah.
started in this, and it's hard today, it's hard. High prices, high rates, nothing seemingly cash flows.
Mhm.
If your mindset, if you're not around positive people, it'll be very easy to give up. It just will. If I didn't change my friends, my circle of friends, we might have given up because it's just hard. It's already hard, and you don't need people around you telling you it's hard. It's like, okay, I get it. It's hard, but somebody made this work, right? Real estate creates lots of millionaires, so clearly somebody figured it out. So yeah, you got to change your friends. You got to get in new networks. You've got to be purposeful. You have to be purposeful. You own getting a new network, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't really hang out with these girls much, and we don't have tons in common except our kids. And now that our kids are getting older, they don't even play together anymore. And we may get together, a few times a year. And I do see my friends down the street a little bit more because kids are outside playing and whatnot, but just not the same. It's not those deep friendships. Now, I do have my little core group of high school friends that are like, that's true friendship. The friends I've had since third and eighth grade, like they're never going away. And I can tell them everything and they're just so proud of me, and
Yeah,
I'm proud of them for what they've accomplished. So you have those people that love you and will praise you for your successes and tell you when you suck. Those are true friends. But the ones that are jealous, I just can't, you know, it's hard to hang out with them. Like one of them, you know, I was talking to Blake the other day and was like, oh, well, so how many houses do you guys have now? And oh, wow, Blake, you're gonna, you know, I heard you're retiring soon. And I'm like, whoever said that, you know? I mean, he can quit if he wants. Is that what you heard? You know, like we're not dependent upon his income, but he works with his best friend and he likes it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like comments like that, you know, are just like, so that means when you hang out with us, those are the things you're really thinking and you're not saying out loud. It's
Yeah,
just kind of gross. Yeah.
it's kind of gross. It's funny you talk about it, that you have friends from grade school, high school, and all those true friendships. I was just thinking as you were saying that, I have no friends.
Yeah.
Nobody in my network that I would consider a friend today was back when I was employed. My network, I have managed my network full turnovers 3 or 4 times. The people that I
Yeah.
consider friends today, I knew, I hope people hear this, I knew none of them 5 years ago.
Wow.
My circle has changed that much.
Yeah. I've got three friends and they've been the same three for a really long time. And, you know, and when I started getting lonely with my mom group, you know, all my best friends, they don't live anywhere near me, you know.
Yeah.
But my local mom group friends, I can't even say we're really friends anymore. Now I feel like we're just more acquaintances.
Yeah.
And when I started feeling lonely, that's when I kind of went to Instagram and I was like, oh my God, there's other people. And I can talk about money and I can talk about and I can talk about real estate and they're not judging me because they're making money too. It's the difference between, you know, people's work ethics. Some people are just fine. It's fine. Some people are just fine. Like they got their job and they're going to just like work and like save their money and buy their boat and leverage and have credit card debt. But guess what? They're living life and they don't want to know of any other alternative because that's too hard, too much work. And they're just going to enjoy life with, you know, without worry and stress. Okay. And then I feel people like me that are like, I want to make money. I want to make more and more and more. And I want to better myself. I want to be better. I want to be better than I was yesterday and be better than I was last year. Every single year, I want to improve, not just improve on making money, but improve on how good of a person can I be? Like, how many lives can I change? What kind of
Yeah.
impact can I make? You know, what can I do to like make the world how can I share? Like, my thing is, how can I share what I know and how I've changed with other moms and other
Yeah.
people, you know?
Yeah.
And then there's those people like that just want to get better and better and better. Personally, you know, in my mom group, they're talking about the Netflix show that they're watching in the thread and what, you know, fantasy books they're reading. And I'm just like, I don't do that. The only YouTubes that I watch, my favorite show is the Y Files because I like all the conspiracy stuff. So I'll watch like that, and I'll watch the Gaia channel about self help and all of those, and all the books that I read. They're all, um, you know, making your life better books. They're not.
Right.
Nothing is fantasy. Like,
Yeah.
only things I consume are how can I be better. Like that's it. And my one fun show is the Y. That's my
Yeah.
favorite YouTube. Like that's my favorite like TV show when it's on YouTube.
Nice.
You know, it's like I don't even listen, I don't even watch TV anymore. You know,
Yeah.
I don't read those kinds of fantasy books. I
Yeah.
mean, what's it gonna do for me? How am I gonna get any better reading a love story? Like,
Yeah. It's
not
really
interested. I
wild.
don't have
Yeah.
time for that.
It's really wild. More and more people need to take ownership of their network. And in today's world, kind of to your point, your network also is your social media feed, right? Um, whether it's
100%.
Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you've got to be purposeful. You've got to you got to realize the algorithm is going to feed you whatever you click on. So if you want to go down a doom loop and live in fear, it'll give it to you. I don't recommend it, but it'll give it to you. And yeah, if you want to have a growth mindset, you want to have fun, you want to challenge yourself, it's there for you. It's all there. It's um, it's funny that it's funny that people complain about their social media when they're the ones that are operating. It's like own your choices, you freaking adult. What the hell?
Yeah. It's so funny. It is. You
It's
gotta
like,
curate your own feed, you know, that
yes,
you get shown what you click on. You get shown what you want to see. That's how the platforms work. So you stay on the platform more. They show you things that you're interested in, that you show interest and time on. So
Yeah. Well, you're going to be out at the event in Vegas here coming up.
so excited.
If you're going to bring your husband as well, I think I heard.
Yes, he's gonna come.
Nice. So, people are going to come see you, meet brick by brick, take some pictures, have some fun. It's going to be a lot of, I think it's going to be just a total blast, I think.
I am really looking forward to it. I'm super excited. I've never been to any sort of real estate event except for my local, real
Yeah.
estate stuff.
Yeah.
Never gone to, a conference or an event. So I'm really excited. And I have some past students who are going to be there.
Nice.
And some people on Instagram have reached out and said, oh, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And I'm like, all I see is the name. So make sure you come up and say your name, so I can remember you. The tiny
Yeah.
profile picture and the name, I won't recognize you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's going to be a
But
lot of fun.
I am super stoked. I know your event's going to be off the hook. It's going to be amazing. You have an amazing lineup of people that are going to be there. So it's going to be, I'm super excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. You get in Friday, I'm guessing, or what?
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see you Saturday morning. I look forward to it. Casey, thank you for coming out. Thank you for saying yes. And just keep being you. Keep having fun.
Thank you.
All right.